people trying to pick up Magik because of just, you know, soulless soul skin coming out. We're gonna start off not with any throw, any portal, anything of that nature. The basis of everything is a melee cancel. So what does that mean? You primary, you melee. Always make sure the primary hits first. You gotta make sure you hear the sound first before you melee, because you end up doing this. That doesn't work. You have to make sure it hits, then you do it. That'll be the basic for every single Magik combo. So you can do this without any sort of issue. Next, moving on to the portal. Obviously, iframes during the portal, but as soon as you leave that portal, you are extremely vulnerable. That's a little phase you have to pick between the rage and the whirl. You are extremely vulnerable. Always use it with caution. Alright? Your dash, 50 meters. I mean, you know, nothing too crazy here.
This war is bigger than one life.
She doesn't have a lot in the kit, honestly, compared to, like, you know, certain characters. Daredevil. But, like, yeah, she ain't that difficult. In no circumstance should you ever use this. This is garbage. This is shit. Alright? You don't want to ever use the whirl.
Ice to a sword fight.
Please note that Magik's throw pierces through enemies now, so it allows you to brawl easier. You know, build up overhead before you get in there and fight. Obviously, this is your go-to if you're trying to like flank. Boom. Go right back over there. Nothing too crazy, nothing too hard. This is your easiest combo. You know, just nothing too crazy. I'll do it slowly. Primary, melee, dash, primary. Nothing too crazy. Now this is throw, dash, primary, melee cancel. So you're allowed to, like, you know, weave a little bit more damage and keep portals. Now you can also do this. It's more like an assassin combo. This only uses like one portal, so you can still have one to relocate into position, you know, get a health pack, whatever. Also, be mindful that yes, Magik can brawl, but she's not a brawl character at first. I mean, you can tell she's 250. You always want to put a demon down first before you do anything too crazy, because not only do you build up overhealth from it, you also have to take damage, whether it's on tank, we can't move much like a Groot or a thing. Just put a demon there, fuck up their backline. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend to use a portal, you know, to get in all the time. Alright, moving on to like niche techs. Characters like Luna, Mantis. You can always do this to force out a cooldown, or like a Bucky. You can do stuff like this, like Luna trying to use a freeze. Now she panics, and then boom, she's used it. So the thing you do is, you dash into them, and as soon as you hear the sound, use the portal. As soon as it connects. It works also for Emma Frost. A lot of them will just pop the diamond form. And then the demon just, you know, help you out. Yeah. Very, very useless. You'll never really use this unless you're like, you know, 1v1 against, you know, Luna or Mantis or any sort of like CC character. A Rogue, a little harder because Rogue doesn't have like an actual, you know, you can't really tell when she's about to use her grab, but always be mindful of that. Also remember that whenever you, whenever you use your cooldowns, the moment you press your ult, go bro right back. Right, so whenever you pop your ult on Magik, you can always like dump everything. So for example, you're middle of a team fight, blah blah blah. Alright, let me relocate so I can pop my ult safely. Because I'll be right back by the time you need it. And that segues perfectly to the next section, which is the ultimate. So, in this game, there's multiple ways you can get value out of Magik ult. Most of the time I use them on, like, you know, defensively, like a cloak or an invis pop ult. You can do things like this, where I personally put a demon down, and then to build up overhealth, right? Because I will be standing still while I do this. Oh, this is guaranteed to kill pretty much every support ult, well, meta support ult in the game, apart from like Mantis, Ultron, you know, this type of ults. But essentially, it's just a huge throw into a dash. You have to be really quick or really close nowadays. So yeah, if you do it right, you should cancel most support ults in the game. And also, don't be a bot. Always use, build up some overhealth at first, either with a demon or a huge whirl. it really depends on who's like in front of you. A lot of Magic stuff you can just freestyle as you go, as you learn, and you know, you improve on the character.
Hostiles coming in fast. Charge.
You can also, you know, cancel dodge ults like a Jeff ult. Or like a Magic portal. If you just time it right. You can also block Iron ults like this. It's very niche uses to Magic. She's very good and consistent, you know. You can climb to like anything. I think it's Celestial playing Magic only, really. Obviously, your biggest counters are, you know, Thing, Rogue, no more to an extent, Bucky, Life Ups, you know, stuff like that. But once you improve and get better in the character, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Now we're moving on to the last part of this. Not really, you know, the most in-depth Magic guide, but I just want to give y'all enough to, you know, rank up with. One of the strongest ways you can dive with Magic is using your portals, alongside where you team up with Doctor Strange, which slows them down and, you know, chains the targets together. You can do stuff like this.
Go have fun. I got you.
You know, you can use that to like clean up stuff like that. Also this works.
Critical chain.
Stuff like that. Yeah, so I mean that team up is really strong.
I got you.
It does damage. You know, you can freestyle
Enemy ahead of us.
this damage over time. You can also use it like stop or support from like getting out. And then yeah, you just go crazy.
Survive this.
Nothing too crazy. Also be mindful that whenever you use your chain, that you will always bring the person you're chaining to the target closest to them. It will not be the opposite. So if I do this to that bot over there, it'll come towards me. It won't stay where it is. So be mindful that it will move, right? So if you're doing like going for a dash,
Not so fast.
you will flop it. Be mindful. Just always wait for them to relocate first, then you can dash.
Got you.
Obviously, the best way to like,
This
you
war
know,
is bigger
improve
than
on
one
Magic
life. Go have fun.
is to go into practice range. My biggest tip, personally, is to go fight Rockets. Or Luna in a 1v1, whichever one you prefer. Luna teaches you to, like, not only dive better, in the sense that, you know, you don't just go in there and just randomly pop, but also to be mindful of, you know, CCs that could come your way. So, keeping a portal for, you know, a freeze. Or the tech I taught you earlier,
Charge.
using this shit.
Hostiles coming in fast. The limo
Nah.
lift off. You
Obviously,
brought
the
ice
bots
to
and
a
human
sword
being
fight.
don't play the same, so as you guys climb up the ranks or play comp or whatever, you should be fine. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to teach on Magic, and go fuck some shit up now.
Behold, Darkchild!
I'm about to see some fucking, like, one of these from some of y'all. Play me some clips, you know, on TikTok, Twitter, whatever, and yeah. At the end of the day, it's a video game, you know? So, if you feel like the game's getting a little too difficult, or the character's a little too difficult, feel free to ask me any question.
Ice to a sword fight.
I think Magic is pretty easy, in my opinion.
This friendly
Obviously, if you don't play dive or like melee at all, this is like gonna be like something to you know, get a grip of. But
charge.
like I said, character's not too difficult. The forwarded overhealth, very helpful, specifically in your like a big group of enemies.
Go have fun.
You know, you keep one on one.
Like to survive this.
You know, nothing too crazy. But yeah,
Enemy ahead of
hope
us.
y'all enjoyed and feel free to use anything from that video. Yeah, I got like around like a 60% win rate on Magic and comp. Obviously I use her, you know, can quick play everything. I mean, I have her champion, so you know, play a decent amount, I'd say. Where's Magic? I have, you know, played a decent amount of Magic in my lifetime. I'd say I'm better than most people. So, yeah, feel free to use my advice or not. And yeah, go fuck some shit up in comp.